What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. To get today started off, we are going to be pulling the Work CR Kais off of the Evo 10, and we're actually selling these wheels. And the reason for it is because on Evo 10, I like to run an 18 by 10.5. That's what we run on that Evo 10, and I think they just fit a little bit better on the 10 body. It's a little bit wider than 8 or 9. So we're selling these. These are 18 by 9.5 plus 22. We already ordered up a new set of wheels, so I'm excited for those to come in. Should look really good on here. Going to something a little bit different. I was tempted to do the whole 57 Extreme style wheel on this car as well, but I've done that 1,000 times, and I want to do something different this time around. So let's get these things pulled off, get the factory Evo 10 wheels back on it. Even though this tire's a little bit whack, we won't be driving this thing at all until we get it like completely fixed. All right guys, we got back to the shop and we need to get back to work on the Evo 10. But Jared's out here washing his red Evo 10, the Rally Red, and this color popped so hard in the sun, so I'm gonna do a little edit real quick for you guys. All right, so let's make some progress on this car today. I decided that I'm gonna attempt to get this thing as best as possible here. And if I cannot get it perfect, like I want it, as far as the fitment with the hood, headlights, bumper, fender, all that stuff goes, I will just drop it off somewhere and have them tweak it on a frame rack. So what we picked up is good old Harbor Freight come along. I'm gonna hook this up to the core support because obviously the core support needs to come out probably about 1/4 inch, 3/8 of an inch. I'm gonna hook it up to the core support and then I'll hook it up to like a post or something outside and try and pull it out that way. I'll be the first to admit that I'm not very good with this kind of stuff. I've never really experienced or dove into body work and like frame repairs and all that kind of stuff. Obviously in the future, it'd be nice to, like when we outgrow the shop or when we upgrade to a bigger shop, a much bigger shop, it'd be cool to get a frame rack in there and really progress my skills into getting all that perfected and in my skill set. It'd be fun. So let's pull this thing back apart, bumper, fender, headlight, and try and get that core support pulled out. All right, so we got this thing unboxed. 4,000 pound capacity, should be good. I'm actually just gonna hook this thing to the lift. It's fairly sturdy, I would say. Wrap a chain around the lift, hook that come along to it, wrap a strap or chain around probably this section right here because that looks like it's the most bent area, and try and pull that out just a little bit. And if we can get it pulled out maybe 1/4 inch, I think we will be in luck. Okay, here's our setup. We got a chain attached to the 2-post lift, attached to the come along, attached to another chain, which is attached to our core support. I'm gonna loosen some stuff up, loosen up this actual radiator support up top, see if we can give that a little tug and get that thing popped out just a little bit. Don't be jealous.
Oh wow. I've never seen this before.
It's a frame rack, a DIY frame rack. Bro, this thing moves so easy. The core support, it's so like flimsy.
Just like pulls right out.
Yeah. I don't want to go too far. This thing's a pile of shit. 21 bucks at Harbor Freight. All right, we gave it a little bit of a tug. The main important thing I'm trying to get situated right now is the headlight to the bumper and then the hood to the bumper as well. the fender to the hood, that's all super easily adjustable. But yeah, let's see what that did. Slowly but surely, she's getting better. Gap's getting a little bit bigger on the side. Headlight gap is getting smaller. So we're trying to get this side to look like that. And then we're trying to get that gap right there to look like that side. So after a few hours later, this is what we ended up with. Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. Is it much, much better and doable? 100%. Here's the hood to bumper gap. As you can see, that's very even. Fender to hood could be a little bit better, but I'm sick of working on it. Fender to hood, decent. Headlight, 90%. Headlight, 85%. I'm happy with how it's coming out, or how it came out, because I'm done with it for now. Like I said, it's not perfect, and I wasn't expecting it to be, just because I know this thing's been messed with quite a bit before, and trying to fix other people's work, I've noticed it's always very difficult. I would have much rather bought this car and fixed this car from when it was originally wrecked versus trying to fix someone else's kind of like a hack job repair. So kind of sucks that happened, but I think I'm happy with it, because if you're just looking at the car, it looks good. If you don't know that it was wrecked, I don't think you would be able to tell, type of thing. But being that I was working on it, and obviously now all you guys know that this thing was previously wrecked. Thankfully it is still clean title though, so that makes me happy. Okay, so the next mission of the day is to get the blue Evo 8 off of the lift. The next thing we're gonna be working on is fixing the transmission of this car. There's no way we're gonna get it done today. That was the original goal. But being that adjusting the front end just took us, I don't know if I dare tell you guys, 8 hours. 8 hours. 8 hours we've been working on this thing. There's no way that we're gonna get a tranny in or out, torn apart, repaired, make sure it shifts correctly, back in and driving today. We're gonna get as far as we can, whether that's just getting the Evo 8 off the lift or getting a tranny pulled. I don't really care, because at least we're making progress. All right, that was way easier than expected. I just have the front on a block of wood and then on the jack. Front's super light right now. You can literally pick it up by your bare hands. So if there's like 2 people here, we wouldn't even need the jack. But I'm gonna put this car where the FRS is, just so we can move cars in and out as we're building the motor for this thing. So yeah, let's get the FRS moved out of the way, get this pushed over there, and then get the 10 onto the lift. It's always super exciting looking at a car for the very first time on a lift. So you get to check out everything underneath it, see what's been messed with, see what's stock, see what's aftermarket, all that good stuff. It's always a really fun time, for me personally. Okay, that was easy enough. Let's get this thing situated on the lift, get her up in the air, take a look at what exactly is going on. So if you haven't really been following along with the new Evo projects, the 10 does not go in 5th gear. The previous owner bought it needing a ton of work. He did I think he said a transfer, a new clutch, and then a new tranny. And then the tranny that he put in there didn't go into 5th gear, so he got sick of it. And now it's my turn to try and save this car. All right, let's get to work on this thing. So pulling the tranny on a 10, or I guess any Evo, has gotten pretty simple. It's not super complicated. So we got to pull off this driver's side front wheel, CV axle, the CV axle stub. There's of course some stuff underneath, and then up top, we have to pull off like the intake, everything that's in the way of the bell housing bolts, and then get the transmission unbolted from the engine and from the transfer case, and then drop the transmission out of there and see what's going on with it. So let's start off with the suspension on this side first. Wheel, CV axle, all that good stuff. Let's get all that ripped off.
What about her? She's shitty? You hate her? Lots of problems? Oh, just ugly? Okay. Come here. Hug.
Okay, we got the side all pulled apart. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same on the passenger side. We don't gotta pull the stub, but pull the CV axle. It just gives you a lot more space with kind of getting the transfer case out of the way to get that transmission dropped down. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. You don't have to do it, but it's a little bit easier that way. All right, while we're down here, let's go ahead and pop off this lower cross member right here. That has got to come off anyway. 2 bolts up front, 1 in the back, and then 2 on a little cross brace back there. All right, so intercooler piping, intake, BOV hose. There's some wiring that's got to come off, a few other little random things. And then we have to deal with the dreaded clutch throwout bearing clip. Great fun. All right, guys, let's go and tackle this throwout bearing clip right now. I may have to come here in the morning with a fresh brain to actually get it. I get so frustrated with these things, but I'm calm right now, so let's tackle it and get this thing knocked out of the way. On a bitchy scale of 1 to 10, this car was about, I would say about a 7 to get that throwout bearing clip off. The blue Evo was a 0. It was easy. It worked like it should. Jared's Evo, Rose, that was like an 11 out of 10. We spent like 3 hours on that car. This car took 30 minutes. Blue Evo took 1 minute. So we got it off, which is exciting. A little bit of hammer and pry bar, and it came off. Sick. Unfortunately, I have to wrap up today right here. I really want to keep working, but I have a birthday party to attend tonight. So yeah, I was hoping to get the shanty out. We probably could have got it out if that throwout bearing went smooth, but it didn't, so it's all good. Tomorrow we can definitely get this transmission out, take a look at it, figure out what's going on, maybe get it rebuilt and the new tranny back in the car. I'm hoping that this clutch is good. It's definitely an ACT clutch. Whether it was just replaced or not, I guess we'll find out tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoyed. It's a little crazy. We already got this car up on the lift, but gotta do what you gotta do to get this thing done. Peace out. I will see you guys tomorrow.